Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Chad. Haha. On this amazing Saturday, beautiful day. It's 29 degrees, 30 degrees. I don't know. It hasn't snowed yet. It looks like most of the snow has been dissipated. So that's been on the ground. It's a good day. It's a good day. Talk about those who did not have a good day. Those Americans that are trapped in Afghanistan, left there by Trader Joe's malicious / incompetent regime. At least we forget 13 servicemen and women died at Abbey Gate, Kabul, Afghanistan, along with 200 other poor souls. 300 plus people lost arms and legs and limbs, things that don't grow back. A lot of them with service members as well. Every day, never forget it, never forget it. False. This is Deploy Knife Hands. But there was hope. Folks getting him out. Task Force Argo, Task Force Pineapple, Project Exodus, Project Dynamo Christian Coalition, Mighty Oak Foundation, just to name a few. Meanwhile, at least we forget, on this day, 4 years ago, something called Jan 6, the attack on the Capitol building, an insurrection, happened 4 years ago. Yeah. These people got arrested for going into the Capitol building, protesting, and a very mostly peaceful protesting. The only person that died there was Ashley Babbitt, a Air Force veteran. She was shot by a BLM online social media sympathizer, Capitol Police member. Worked for the Capitol Police. He shot her. She died. Yes. That's the only death. All the others were after the fact. And yeah, it got spicy. It did get spicy. But, there was a lot of agent provocateurs that were there. I think they said like 30% of the people there were actually glowies. That's a lot. That's a lot. The Capitol Police was allowing people to come through. They were, breaking down their own barricades and saying, come on in. Matter of fact, we've seen it that the one policeman that was inside says, I don't, he said this on camera. He says, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I support it. Right? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's I know him. We all know him. Took an oath to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And this is part of our process is to be able to show up and redress our grievances. Let me say words right. Redress our grievances, in public, because that's about the First Amendment. First Amendment is not just about saying something. I have the right to say anything I want. Yeah, well, you do. Yeah, but there are consequences to your actions and what you say, right? What you do. You can't yell fire in a theater. You just can't. I mean, it's inciting. You're just looking for trouble there. But since that day, these people have been held as political prisoners, arrested and imprisoned, just for walking into a building, just for being there. Not even, some were not even there that were arrested. They were online somewhere. Enrique, the leader of the Proud Boys, yes, his name is Enrique. He's Cuban. His nationality is Cuban. I think there's some black in there. German. I mean, so he's all over the place. Definitely not a fair-skinned fellow, but he got 22 years for a tweet or a email. It said, "Don't stop," and they took that as inciting an insurrection. Meanwhile, our upper echelon motherfuckers are absolutely corrupt and committing acts of debauchery, that we all know about. Yet they still go free. So, the irony of it all. I think that's part of the plan. During a tyrannical regime's taking of power from a country, right? They have to do these acts of irony. So these people are still incarcerated over the J6 debacle, held there as political prisoners without sentencing, without bail, torturous and solitary confinement. Someone lost an eye. They constantly get charges added to their, more charges added to their charges, the Fed charges. So they have more time that when they get sentenced, So it's, it's not a good place to be. And for 4 years, they've been there. 4 years, these people have been incarcerated by a tyrannical regime, held as political prisoners. I mean, seriously, think about that. That's where we are right now. 4 years later. 4 years later. Now, there is hope. There is hope. There's thousands of people, family, friends, loved ones, charitable organizations, lawyer firms doing pro bono work, even some senators, congressmen, and representatives holding committee hearings and things of that nature and talking about it. Shout out Marjorie Taylor Greene. I remember, she was the first. She had a whole bunch of people that came with her, and they toured the facilities and was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. So, there is hope, and there is people trying. Like I said, the charitable organizations providing care packages and defense fund for those incarcerated, and providing financial assistance for the displaced families. There's a lot of moms and dads in prison. Unjustly, I might add. Held there by a tyrannical regime. Meanwhile, they every morning these inmates make a phone call and they sing at the top of their lungs the national anthem. They've been doing this for 4 years. 4 fucking years. Every day. So meanwhile, yes, January. Meanwhile, got to keep this quick. Meanwhile, the director of the TSA was just arrested by the U.S. Border and Customs Agency for fraudulating documents and transferring property from a relative to hers. Yes. So, wow. The TSA director, McMahon, I think her name is. Yeah, she's arrested. The TSA. I found that's kind of an old story, but I'm just now hey, I don't really care about news sometimes, so especially on the weekends, right? But you get exposed to it in some way, form or another, some way, form or fashion, obviously. So and tonight I plan on doing a trial by axe. Absolutely, tonight will definitely be a trial by axe. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9 p.m.-ish, at the latest, to get started, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be an epic night of, just lots of fun and axe throwing. So yes, still on for that. Anyway, go Team Linda, go Team Linda, fuck cancer. She is kicking ass and taking names. She is Cleveland strong, and she's doing it. She's getting there. She is getting there. It's amazing. So the progress, but it's a fight. It's a struggle, and she has been fighting and struggling and suffering to beat this thing, and it's amazing. It's an amazing journey to watch. So talk about will, a testament to will. Yeah, absolutely. So. Yes, this has been Mad Shad. Every day, never forget.